Hey folks, Quill18 here, bringing you another Heroes of Newerth commentary, and this time I will be playing once again as the Demented Shaman. So, for the first time we are going to have a duplicate champion. I really enjoyed the Demented Shaman in my first game, and I think I really lucked out by just happened to find a, did I say champion? Hero. That I really enjoyed playing right off the bat, and so now that I've got a little bit more experience in the game, I thought, let's give the Demented Shaman another go, and see if I still like him, and see if I could do a little bit better with him. In this particular game, I'm going to be playing with a few people. I'm going to be playing with Anime Hero over here, who is actually going to be giving me quite a bit of mentoring in this particular game. I don't really remember how he found me or friended me. I think we joined this game together. It's possible that I just made my "Hey everyone, I'm a noob" speech in-game, but I'm pretty sure he was explicitly going to be helping me in here, and in fact did so quite well, so hopefully he doesn't get spammed with requests now or anything like that, but he was extraordinarily helpful, extraordinarily friendly, and taught me a whole lot this game, so I will try to pass that forward to all of you who are listening out there. So yeah, I'm playing Demented Shaman. He is going to be playing as Pebbles. We also have a Dark Lady, who actually, this was just someone who randomly was in the game, but then she was actually very helpful throughout the game as well, giving considerable amount of advice. Although there are a few times where the advice that Anime Hero and Asian, who was playing Dark Lady, were giving me was sometimes at odds. They would have a minor debate about what items I should get or something like that, and actually that made me extremely happy, because there seems to be, at least in what I'm seeing in Han, a lot of times when there's sort of just general consensus of, well, this is the build you have to use with such and such a hero, oh, you have to get this item, this is so core, this is so key. And I mean, on the one hand that's good, but on the other hand it's a little bit less good that there's not as much flexibility and options. One of the things I do enjoy quite a bit about League of Legends is that there really does tend to be a few very viable and extremely distinct builds for various champions in League of Legends. For example, Blitzcrank, which is the first champion I really got into playing quite a bit. He's the one that sort of carried me from like level 10 to level 30. This is the summoner level where your user account actually levels up. He is a character that is very much like... I'm spazzing on the name, but yeah, I'm saying deja vu here because, well, look at this. It's Demented Shaman plus Pebbles. That seems awfully familiar. Oh god, I feel terrible that I'm forgetting the name. But basically, Blitzcrank has a grab. He can like shoot his fist out, grab someone, and pull them in. And both Dota and Han have a hero that do that. And anyway, he's one that I really got into, because what was nice when you're just playing sort of single queue against noobs, he's really good at destroying other noobs, because you just grab them, pull them into tower range, and then obliterate them. Very effective that way. But as a sort of initiator, so there's sort of three totally viable builds for him. Because he's going to be initiating a lot of fights, and he's going to be he gets into melee range. I mean, either he's pulling someone in, or he's going to want to walk up to someone to hit him with Power Fist, which is a punch that knocks them up in the air, right? So he's got these sort of like semi-disable moves, and he's going to be drawing a lot of fire early on. Sometimes it makes a lot of sense to build him tanky. You can go with a lot of health, armor, magic resist items. You could get a Banshee's Veil, which is like a Nullstone in Han. And a Guardian Angel, which is like the token of life that drops from Kongor, but is an item, and it just has a 5-minute cooldown internally. So obviously very powerful. So you could go with that kind of build. Or, because you're going to be pulling people to you and sort of getting in the middle there, you may want to go with a very physical build. Some attack speed, some damage, something that gives you speed boost so that you can more effectively chase people down, because Blitzcrank excels at that for a variety of reasons. Going with a crit heavy build, some people call it the Critscrank build, is very viable because his Power Fist already adds double damage, and then when you add a Sheen on top of that, it's just a magic item that will effectively double his damage again, or triple his damage really. And then when you add crit into that, you get someone who can do a lot of burst very quickly, and he's able to sort of surprise people and take down squishy carries quite fast, especially casters, that sort of thing. So now all of a sudden we've got two perfectly viable builds. But in League of Legends, many of the abilities scale up. Most of the spells. Oh, look at Magnus all being stealthy there. Uh-oh. That is not going to be great for us. So, who else is at the bottom here? Let me take a look. Is that Glacius? Yeah, Glacius is harassing me, trying to get down my health a little bit. And there we go. Magnus is initiating on me, stunning me. I'm going to try to get out of there. Oh, can't quite. Dodging around pebbles over here. But I'm not running away. I'm being a little bit brave and say, okay, the second you stop chasing me, I'm going to try to shoot a few times. Get a little bit of retribution in there. Bam. Keeping up the harass. Trying to set up. Both him and Glacius are actually quite low. And, oh, Magnus has come back in. Are we going to be able to do anything about that? No. In fact, I may get taken out here. Oh, I drop a heal on myself. I end up actually killing a lot of creeps at the same time, so that went out nicely. Okay. So pausing the action, let me go back to what I was talking about, and then we'll get to commentating the real action in a second here. But all of your spells in League of Legends, most of them anyway, a lot of them, scale up with AP, ability power, which is something you can get on items, which simply makes your spells more and more effective. Different spells have different scaling. For example, someone with a really good scaling might get 1 extra damage on the nuke for every point of ability power they have, and you can stack several hundred ability power over the course of the game if you're really dedicated to that. It means that spellcasters can stay scaled next to physical players the entire game. So their nukes aren't overpowered early on and then turn out to be inconsequential late game. The balance is pretty good. So as Blitzcrank, you can actually go with an AP build, and now all of a sudden when you use your grab, not only are you initiating and pulling people out of their formation, but if you've got enough AP, you're potentially taking out like up to half their health away in a single punch. And your ultimate is this AoE electrical shock that silences for not very long, like a second or something like that, but also does damage. And of course, if you're in an AP build, then again, not only are you sort of playing the initiator and AoE disabler, but you are potentially turning into a significant AoE nuker. And so we've got 3 totally viable builds within that. And then within each one of those sub-builds, and then there's still room for variation. There's a few different ways of implementing these various selections. And there's hybrid builds that you can do between AP and AD, so attack damage and ability power. Also sort of tank, maybe AP tank builds, or hybrid AP tank builds, if you go with the Rod of Ages, for example. So I quite like that. So all this to say, it made me happy that there was some dissent about which items I should get and in which order in Han, because it shows that there's room for flexibility and room for different ways of building things. And this is actually something I do see come up when I'm looking at the when I've looked at very few but professional level Honcast games where there's a lot of commentary about, okay, what is so-and-so going to get? Are they going to go for this item or this item? Because it's going to significantly change the flow of the game depending on which one they take. Oh, they went with this one. Well, this has the following implications. So that's always really good to see, and it's a sign of nice balance. So, back to the game. What have I gotten? Well, I have missed a Bloodlust because I'm terrible like that. I'm carrying 2 Minor Totems plus a Guardian Ring. So I believe I've also bought the Courier. We do have a Monkey Courier here. Yep, Quill 18, that is me. So that was my contribution to get the Courier going, and a few items just to help my base abilities a tiny little bit. And let's look at the teams here. We've got on the Hellborn, no, this is the Legion team. We've got the Chipper, Behemoth, an Arachna, and of course down below we've got Glacius and Magnus. So we've got Fire and Ice down below. Very cool. And then on the Hellborn team, of course, we've got Demented, Shaman, and Pebbles here, with a Dark Lady in the middle, and a Meraxus and Plague Rider up top. So as I understand, Plague Rider is another support character. I believe Meraxus is sort of a tanky initiator, and Dark Lady is a carry-type character. And we are definitely going to keep an eye on her. If you're looking here, you'll notice she's currently getting a whole lot of free farm as the Arachna is buzzing around in the jungle. Maybe she's going for a Ruin, maybe she was looking to gank bottom, I don't know. But in the meantime, she's letting the Dark Lady farm up a whole lot of money. Where's my stats page? Let's move this over here, pull this up here. And so Asian, the Dark Lady, is already at 35 creep kills, vastly overwhelming everyone else. And we are 7 minutes into the game, and she has 300 gold per minute, so lots of money. We do have a fight here. Magnus and Glacius pwn me, and also Pebbles, because that's right, I remember this. This engagement, we sort of engaged in a 2-on-2 situation that looked pretty good, but then out of nowhere, Arachna popped in and pwned our heads. And so now I will try to talk a little bit more about the action. Your killers, Glacius has the Striders, which is odd. Striders and a Mana Potion. To me, just to go for boots right away is interesting, but it did give him a whole lot of mobility. We've got Magnus with 4 Minor Totems, an Empty Bottle, and Marchers. Got some things going on in the middle. The Dark Lady is currently packing a Logger's Hatchet, which is of course going to let her last hit a lot more easily, since it increases the damage she does to creeps considerably, plus 32%. The Iron Buckler reduces damage take. She takes a freeze from Glacius, and she is currently taking damage, but she turns that around, and Glacius is sitting at virtually no hit points, 10 hit points, but is able to escape, while the Dark Lady is currently at 140 hit points, and she will probably get away as well, unless someone from top comes and intercepts, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Meanwhile, we have missed a kill down below. Oh man, I want to see it, because, like, you know, it's important when I'm contributing. Oh, that's what happens. Pebbles decides to sneak around this way. Meanwhile, we're harassing Magnus. There's initiation. Pebbles stuns him, and I'm sure I threw in an entangle on there too, but it seemed to be completely unnecessary. There was just way too much burst damage going down there, and Pebbles walks away with the kill. Awesome. What do we have here? The Dark Lady coming bottom, or looking for the Ruin maybe? Yeah, there we go. It is the Tablet of Illusion. She picks it up and puts it in her bottle, which is a very cool mechanic. I do like that. Saving the buff for later. She can use it on command, and of course it also refills her empty bottle. She actually uses it right away, pops her illusions, and what is she going to do with them? Oh, not pings, double teleport down below. She's just going to leave them there. What's the purpose of that, I wonder? Or was she just looking to use it so that she could use her bottle? Yes, she's used 1 charge in a bottle. I guess she was just looking to heal herself. Interesting. Now, it looks like what this is probably going to do is push the lane a little bit, but I guess it won't be the end of the world. Meanwhile, what do we got going on here? Ooh, looks like the Plague Rider barely made it away, dodging those bullets from Chipper. Those missiles, I guess they're just skill shots. You fire them off in a direction, and they've got quite a nice range, although he takes an axe to the face from Meraxis. Dark Lady still having complete control over her lane, forcing Arachna back. Very, very dominant there, no question about it. Chipper buying some items. So right now he is currently packing a Mana Battery, Health Potion, Runes of Blight, Minor Totems, and Marchers. Meanwhile, we've got a ping going on down here. Looks like they are going to be focusing on me while they initiate from the back as well. And doesn't look like much happened, and instead Pebbles just obliterates Glacius. Oh my god, so much damage. Now I am in big trouble, and I do manage to escape. Pebbles not even looking to initiate. He's very happy with the 1 kill, just looking to get away safely for us to heal up. And we get a little fail from Magnus as we walk away 1 up. Although overall we're still behind. Our team's 4-2. But that is going to help considerably with the Dark Lady getting a kill in the middle, using her taunt, getting the smackdown, and getting access to a lot more free farm, and keeping her gold per minute rate just smoking. Still over 300, much, much higher than everyone else. Although, well, that's... Oh, I'm looking at XP. Yeah, considerably higher. In fact, it's Magnus down here, Bloodbath, playing as Magnus, who's got the 2nd highest farm. And considering he's in dual lane, that seems pretty good to me. He's at 200 gold per minute. I am currently sitting at 127, and as with every other game so far, that puts me exactly in the middle of the pack. I am 3rd best and 3rd worst at the same time on my team. I guess that's not a bad thing. So it looks like our top lane is getting a little underfarmed here. They have the worst gold per minute. They're having a little bit of a hard time against the Behemoth and Chipper here. Behemoth, of course, I was very impressed with his Fissure ability. Seems like a very, very effective power. A big line-shaped AoE stun plus movement impediment. But we've got some pings going up. Dark Lady is trying to come behind for a kill. Now the big question is, do they know? There's an initiation here. They're putting a lot of damage on Meraxis, and the Dark Lady is going to come in. She finishes off the Behemoth and is chasing down Chipper. And is she going to be able to get it? She's got a lot of mobility. I happen to know she's got a very tiny little teleport move that she does, and she uses it right there to get the kill and finish things off with a double tap. And the farm on her is just continuing. She's going to be picking up an item here. It looks like she now has a life tube, I think is what she just bought. She's also got steam boots set to agility. Her bottle is now empty. Otherwise, no changes. Meanwhile, oh, looks like it's 3 of them initiating on the bottom. They're taking advantage of the fact that they know where the Dark Lady is. Arachna has come to the bottom, and I'm not entirely sure she's going to be able to finish me off. I'm extraordinarily low, and they are going to come in through the tower, and there we go. Magnus comes in for the kill and definitely finishes me. But I made them work for it, damn it. Now the 3 of them are potentially going to push the bottom lane a little bit. It looks like they're just going crazy with the auto attacks. Glacius is giving a little bit of a push. Meanwhile, the Dark Lady has returned to the middle, and she is, wow, doing a lot of damage on that guy. She has some very cool abilities, it looks like. Her Dark Blades, she activates it, and for the next 4 seconds, she gets plus 60% damage, and her blades silence, which seems extraordinarily powerful. In fact, the silence lasts for 2.5 seconds, so potentially that's 6.5 seconds of silence, which seems like an eternity to me, since coming from League of Legends, the CC there is all much, much shorter. Oh, and we get another death up top. Arnie Palmer goes down. There's some pinks going on in the dungeon, or the jungle. Blah. Dark Lady picks up a sustainer now. Sure, the Mana Tube and Life Tube, you can only buy them from like the secret shop in the outpost or something like that, I thought. So did she use her courier at the secret shop? I don't think I've done that yet. It hadn't occurred to me that that was even an option. You know, it's just like so obvious. Of course, why couldn't your courier shop anywhere? And it just didn't hit me. Now, the Dark Lady is buzzing around down here. I think we are looking for potentially a gank on Glacius, who is not the sturdiest of character. Again, all he's got right now as a true item are his boots, so he's got a considerable amount of mobility, and he's got a health potion and some runes, but he's still going to be quite vulnerable. Comes out for a little bit of harass. I throw my Entangle on him, does do the short stun, and I'm not sure if it was necessary for the setup, but it did give the Dark Lady plenty of arcane. Come in from behind. He had no ability to hide in the bushes or anything, so she gets fed yet another kill. I'm pretty sure my contribution there was completely unnecessary, but pretty awesome. Now, Meraxis and Magnus are fighting it out in the jungle here. Meraxis is actually quite low, but Magnus has decided to back away, even though he's getting reinforced here. That seems odd. I think they're probably going to get Meraxis, but there is a tiny chance that he gets away. No, here comes Magnus again, and he's going to finish that off very, very patiently. Just sets himself up to cut off the run, comes in with the stun, and finishes it off. Pebbles is moving in here, followed by the Plague Rider. I don't think that's going to result in any kills because everyone's just backing away, although Magnus is coming from behind again, looking to engage on the Plague Rider, while everyone else comes in on Pebbles. Ooh, the Behemoth is quite low, but no, they're not going to be able to get it. Plague Rider, get out of there. You are only going to die. Come on. Yellow. Are you going to be able to get away there? Or are they get... There we go. Serial Killer, Smackdown. Finished off, but the Dark Lady is deciding to get engaged in this point. Now, there are all 5 of them in the jungle here, so she's going to have to engage extraordinarily cautiously. She gets frozen by Glacius, getting pounded on by Magnus, and decides, oh, I do not want to be here, and starts backing away. She's dropping some silence on Glacius, which I think is helping her, but I don't see a really good escape path, but she's going to be able to kill Behemoth. There we go, does her slight teleport forward. Now Glacius is in big trouble because her damage output is huge, and he is low, even though she's taking 3 people at once. 4 people now that the chipper comes in, and I think she's that. Oh no, she's turning around for more. She sees some low health people. She knows she can go in for blood. Is going to try to finish off Arachna. Oh, so sick. Now, does Meraxis or anyone have a slow? Are they going to be able to catch a chipper? The Dark Lady's starting to run low on mana, but she does have enough for another one of her little teleport moves. I gotta double check what this thing is called. Charging Strikes. But the chipper is able to escape under cover of his tower. Meanwhile, I've just picked up some goods from my courier here, and I am now got Marchers, a power supply, the Ring of the Teacher, and an extra Scarab for good measure. I don't know what I would be building with the Scarab. It's possible that it was purchased accidentally. I believe what I can do, though, is open up the shop. You know what? I could probably do that anyway. Let me center my view over here. There's probably a hotkey for a bit of video lag. I don't know if that's a problem from today or if that was a problem from yesterday that just happens to be present in the replays. We're gonna have to take a look. Wasn't an issue anywhere else. And let's look at the accessories. I believe it's under there. No, relic maybe. There it is. And if I shift click, view items. So this can upgrade into the Ring of the Teacher, the Storm Spirit, and the Great Arcana. Okay, there's actually quite a bit I could upgrade the Scarab to, so that's nice. All these seem like very, very viable items on my character. The Storm Spirit I quite like. I know it's not in any of the recommended lists, but I really like the ability to trap people in a cyclone. It seems like an excellent way to support a team in a team fight. Oh, I think I'm about to get crushed here. No, turn off the lock camera. Let's go see over here. Yep, yeah, I definitely get stopped. Chipper misses with his missile, but it doesn't matter. I'm 100% deceased. But the Dark Lady is coming in to avenge me. Avenge me, great warrior. Teleports in, and he teleports. I should not. Charging strikes, charging strikes. He's not going to be able to finish Glacius off. He is low. She wants to engage him. I think she was cautious there and hesitating, just double-checking everything. And she's it. Magnus dodges her attack using his own charge. Very nice, but Pebbles comes in from behind and just sticks a stalagmite up somewhere extremely uncomfortable to finish him off. Meanwhile, we still have a whole lot of pressure here. The Dark Lady's potentially maneuvering around for an opening. At this point, yes, she sends in Meraxes first. She asks him to come in and take the tower so that she can go in and safely engage and finish off Chipper. It was a very cool move. So I'm not really talking about the kind of help that I'm getting at this point, but one of the big things that I learned in this particular match, I was instructed very specifically about where to put the wards. Apparently, there's a few really sweet spots. For example, I believe this is a cliff here, and putting the ward on here gives you great vision. You get to see the river, you get to see this side of it, and potentially the ruin. I'm not sure where the ruin spawns exactly, but presumably it's here, I think. So you get to see that as well. And then on the opposite side, top side of the river, I believe this cliff is the ideal, because this again gives you good view of where things spawn. Nope. Because this is the ruin here. I'm curious. It may give you sight of the ruin, and if not, it should still give you sight of people who may be going for it. Again, what it does, it lets you control this path, the brush back here as well. So these things are quite notable. In fact, later in the game, I get advised by the person playing as Dark Lady, Asian here, to put a ward here as a better late game warding spot versus early game. So early game on the cliff and late game over here. I don't know if you guys have any advice to give about wards. I'm quite anxious to hear about it, since as a support person, I do like to place wards. I think vision is extremely important. I don't do it enough in League of Legends, but I'm going to try to do it more in both games, both here and in League of Legends, because it's so key. We're going to chase down Magnus. I do get off my Entangle, which allows another Stalagmite attack and another finish right there. God, I love Entangle. So strong, so easy to get off. And it does a tiny little bit of damage as well. Let me take a look at myself here. Entangle does 21 physical damage per second currently. And it lasts for 7 seconds. So, if we math it all up, that translates to 127 damage? No, 147 damage. Which is not terrible. I mean, it's not bursty, but it's not a bad amount of damage. Equals to about a couple auto attacks. But of course, more importantly, is the disable aspect of it. Looks like there's quite a lot of movement towards the middle here. There are going to be 3 of us here, but they are regrouping here as well. Got a ping over here, but there's no one there. Oh, dropping a ward. Oh, anime hero. This is again where he's showing me a good spot to put that ward, and it comes up just in time to show the tablet of haste. I think this tower is going to go down. Not quite. They are going to be able to defend it on time. There are a lot of us here. Going to be applying a lot of pressure. Oh! We get the sudden strikes coming in from the Dark Lady. She engages on the Behemoth and takes him out in seconds. Meraxes and everyone is beating on Glacius. He's the next to go down. Looks like Chipper may be getting focused here, but I think we're going to get pushed back by the tower. That is perfectly fine, because at the same time we were able to take down this turret and get credit for it. Well, the Hellborn destroyed the tower, but that's okay. And we're still buzzing around the middle here, but I don't know if we're going to want to push any deeper in their territory at this point. Looks like we are going to spread out. So the Dark Lady was taken out during that encounter, which is really unfortunate. That was actually a pretty good move on our opposing teams to their benefit. English. I'm so good at it. Take a look at the scores here. So, their Arachna, who I think ideally would be shaping up to be a carry, is currently only sitting at 1 and 2. Their Bloodbath, oh, that's Magnus, is 5 and 3, and he is doing pretty good. No one on their team has a particularly positive score, whereas on our team, of course, the Dark Lady is currently sitting at 8 and 1, and is farming a whopping 400 gold per minute at 21 minutes into the game. So she's getting lots of great items. She's got a ruined axe at this point. which adds considerable damage to herself, as well as a little health regeneration and mana regeneration. It also adds a splash damage to her attacks, 40% splash damage to all her attacks. Interesting. This, I guess, just allows her to farm like an absolute maniac. There she just uses the sudden strikes to casually dispatch Glacius. It's just like incidental. He's just like some sort of special creep. So she just jumps in, kills him. I'm not really seeing the splash here. It's not on activated. It's totally passive. Okay, no, I guess I am seeing it. Maybe in that other one, there just wasn't enough damage, or the creep was a little too far away. I don't think it's a very large radius. She's also got the Iron Shield, which I think is an upgrade of that initial shield she was carrying around, giving her agility and 20 less damage from melee heroes and 10 less damage from ranged heroes. Magnus tanking the tower there a tiny little bit, while we make a push deep into their territory once again. Or I said Magnus, I meant Moraxis. Here's Magnus here, and he is maybe in a little bit of trouble. No engagement? Okay. An axe flung. Oh! Nice little escape. What an odd spot. He can't walk away. He's got to wait for his teleport to come up. He's using his steam bath there to cloak himself, I believe is what it does. Lots of potential for action, but no actual development. Chipper tossing those rockets, trying to do a little bit of harassment. We take out another tower. So the score is currently 12-15 in the Hellborn favor. And also, but the tower score, I think, tells a whole other story. The Hellborn still have all their towers, whereas the Legion have lost 3. But the big thing is that we are starting to have one Fed carry, and they do not. And that seems to be the all-important thing that so far has determined these games. Partially, of course, because these are low-level pub games, and I think is the case universally in this type of game, in the MOBA genre, where it really comes down to which team has the one strong carry, and or which team has the one really bad feeder. It seems to determine at low levels. Higher level, there's less of a differential in skill between players, so then it comes down a lot more to teamwork, team composition, which is very nice. So, we've harassed the top tower enough, and now we're just going to sneak into the bottom, since all 5 of them are currently down there. Plague Rider hanging out down there, just maybe to give the impression we're still there. Now, they are going to migrate over, but I think we're going to be able to apply a little bit of damage to the tower. Some of this motion back and forth may also be an effort to catch someone out of position. If they move a little too far forward, like for example, if we were to come up here and engage on these 2, while the rest of their team is cut off, that could potentially have a pretty devastating result. Of course, Magnus would be able to get away pretty easily using his Lava Surge, but I think the Chipper would be toast. I don't think we're going to be able to engage right off. Dark Lady hanging out in the jungle here looking for a flank. Ooh, what's Arachne doing? She may be in a lot of trouble here. Dark Lady has not moved. I don't know if she saw her there, or if she's just hesitating. Oh, we do get an engagement here. Magnus, everyone coming in on the Dark Lady, just focus firing her down, and this is going to be terrible for the Hellborn team. Because without our carry, now we are able to take out the Chipper right away. A whole lot of AoE going down. No, one person drops after the other. Plague Rider is down. I am very nearly dead. I think I'm going to get finished off here. I'm throwing some heals towards Pebbles, since he's quite low too, but I'm pretty sure Magnus is coming in to finish off myself. I don't know. Wow, I escaped there. There's a double tap. I didn't see the other kill. I'm totally sorry, guys. I was too focused up here. I do manage to get out as the lone survivor, but I'm not going to be able to do much against the counter push. And oh, there's a ping down here because I believe they know that the rune is up, and they don't want to allow the other team to get there. So they said, as you're running away, make sure to pick up that haste. So I turned around, picked it up, and continued my escape. I am very bravely running away. Here I'm going in auto attack mode because my interest here is to actually push back this minion wave. I could have paid a little bit more attention and got a few more last hits, although I do get one on the ballista right there, and nope, not there. Come on, finish! What am I doing? Oh, I'm so bad! So bad. But yes, I do want to push this wave back, give our tower a little bit of breathing room. Meanwhile, our middle tower, oh, that's one of us. There's the Dark Lady looking to farm up a little bit more and pushing back. And they're complaining that Glacius is being farmed for easy gold. Problem is, once you start falling behind, there starts to be a real limit to how much you can do to turn that off. You know, once you've died a couple of times, you're so far behind that you're just going to keep dying. And one of the things casual mode is going to be addressing in Hone 2.0 is that very sort of effect, because you will no longer lose gold when you die, which means you won't fall quite as terribly behind. You won't be completely shut down from dying a couple of times early on. But it's still going to be a big deal, obviously. It's just going to be slightly less of a big deal. You'll be punished less for it. On the other hand, I believe killing a hero, just like killing creeps in casual mode, will give you more gold than before, accelerating the pace of the game somewhat. But it does sound like they put in a little bit more effort into planning that than was ever put into easy mode back in the Dota days. The idea being that we should still end up with a balanced experience between caster heroes and physical heroes, because that progression is all messed up in easy mode. And, oh, Pebble's looking to potentially initiate on Behemoth there. Oh my god. What the hell? How do you do so much damage? Just two shots him. I mean, that was his stalagmites and, like, melee damage. That is ridiculous. And what is he carrying? He's got the Blood Chalice to give himself mana at the expense of health. The Ghost Marchers, damage, movement speed, the ability to phase. Ring of Sorcery, which gives him mana, armor, and an activated ability to AoE replenish mana. Very cool. And a Homecoming Stone, and that's it. Holy cow. We get some illusions of Pebbles coming in here. I'm sure that's pretty obvious when there's just a pair of them. Meanwhile, Pebbles... Oh, that's the Dark Lady. Again, getting some more free farm just by jungling on the Legion side. Always nice to steal someone else's minions. We got the Behemoth initiating on some illusions there. Not going to hurt us too bad. Meanwhile, who's at the top? That's Pebbles clearing another wave. And it looks like I just tossed a heal on the Dark Lady, make sure she's topped off, and she's going to be roaming around their jungle looking for another easy kill from someone, and is now going to back off. Since we don't have any vision here. There's a shortage of wards in this game, I would say. I think ideally we would like a lot more vision. One of the things that I did do a couple of times, and I think it was in this game, although you know what, it may be in the next game, that little bit of video lag. Hopefully it doesn't interrupt the video too badly. Is I discovered that when you buy wards, you can give the wards to someone else, and they can use them, right? So, in fact, that happens at one point here, because I bought the wards in this game, and Anime Hero was telling me, oh, come this way, I'll show you where to put them, and we got to the area, and he just asked me, here, give me the wards. I gave it to him. He plopped it down in the spot and said, here's where you should put them, which was awesome. I'm like, this is so cool. Well, I took it one step forward. Wow, the Dark Lady's initiating against 4 people. That is not going to work out so well for her. And I believe there were some considerable level ups there, just because she is so high level that they got a lot out of that. That's unfortunate. So yeah, the next step forward is I realized we have a courier. So I would just buy a couple of wards with the courier. I announced in the team chat that there were wards on the courier, and some experienced player picked them up. He just like brought the courier to him, took the wards out of it, and then he placed them because he knew what to do with them. Like, that is so excellent. I am going to keep using that until I really, am quite a master of the runes, or the wards rather, and especially if I'm not playing a roaming champion, hero, sorry guys, because that's what I could see, is someone who's like a ganker and jungler. Obviously, they're not going to want to spend money on wards, but they're in a perfect position to be the person to place them. Huge teamfight going on here. Meraxis gets taken out by a whole lot of damage. Pebbles is chasing after Glacius as much as he can, but in the meanwhile, we've got the Behemoth doing a ton of damage to him, and not actually as much. No, actually, we got 2 deaths on our side, and unfortunately, the Dark Lady is still down, which made that engagement particularly devastating for us since we were short. So we lose 2 out of there, only killing 1, but we hold the tower. Dark Lady's back up now. Need our carry to carry. Magnus doing some jungling here. Doing some nice damage. What a cool looking character, and I love every hit there's like sparks of flame that fly off. Very interesting. I'm going to have to try him at some point. Some people have been telling me he's a pretty decent hero to be playing even as a new player. Good initiator. It's a lot of pressure. I'm going to come into these games with a ton of stress in that kind of role, but I definitely have to learn it at some point. Just like I want to play the Gladiator again now that I understand him a little bit more. And as I understand, he's a pretty good roamer and ganker. Sets up some nice ganks, and that would be the thing to do. You know, got to leave the lane a little bit more often. Set something up with the pitfall, and hopefully carry that through to a gank somewhere else. Legion team's regrouping by the bottom here. Looks like they may be looking for another push. There's some pings going on here. I don't think the Legion team has a ward, and they may be looking to check to see if there's a ruin here. But there are 3 of us in the jungle here. Tiny, Dark Lady, and myself to support. We may get an encounter here in the woods. And we've got a tablet of damage. Awesome. The Dark Lady bottles it. Wow, that is going to be huge. She is going to activate that rune the next time we have a team fight, and she is potentially going to be able to solo the entire team. Get some nice easy farm there. So she is still basically on the same items as before. Oh, she's picked up some of those dark wards that the sight wards that I had put in the courier. Oh, she's got a Whispering Helm now. So the Whispering Helm has an activated ability that lets you take control of a neutral minion, but I'm getting the sense that that's really not why people get it. It's like a very minor incidental bonus. They're mostly getting it for the stats, or potentially because it upgrades into something else. Curious to know, as always, please leave your comments. Educate myself and all the other noobs who are watching. So many pings going on down here. We are definitely regrouping. Hoping that we can get an opening somewhere. Plague Rider is not around, unfortunately. But I think we're still in a good position. I'm sure the Dark Lady wants to use that ward before it expires. Random rocket in the bush here. Did they know we're here? Do they have sight? Does the rocket give sight? Oh, we can see there are a couple here. We get some pings. We're going to migrate over the top lane. Maybe take that tower, or just we're looking to create a team fight. That is our goal, by far. We're in a good position for it. Oh, looks like we had a portal key coming in from Tiny, doing tons of damage on Glacius. Can we take him out right away? And then pull back a little. Arachna is overextending a tiny bit, but no initiation on her. Just going to clear out this minion wave and move forward. They're forced to hang back by the tower. They cannot afford to come in here. I assume that was a port key. There must have been. Yep, portal key. Excellent. And I think we're going to be able to take out this tower without any opposition whatsoever. It's gone invulnerable for a second here, but that won't last. The Dark Lady actually pushes past the tower. See if anyone's hanging out down here. Oh, there she goes. Charges in. Initiates on Arachna. Does a lot of damage, but Arachna goes invisible. And the Dark Lady is going to be able to exterminate tons of people with Pebbles and Miraxis in there assisting. Take out 2 champions. My bad, one was already dead. And we're going to finish off the tower at the same time. Quite a bit of damage, people, but I'm going to try to heal them up as quickly as possible with the heal. And, whoa, our Pebbles is taking a considerable amount of damage from Magnus, and he may drop down, but he was stunned for a second. The Dark Lady is coming in on him, tearing him apart. The question is, am I ever going to use my ultimate? I have used it a couple of times in this game, as I recall, but I'm not actually seeing it being used very often here. It's possible that I'm just not seeing the graphic, but I know for certain that I have missed many opportunities to use it. It's not on a terribly long cooldown, 40 seconds. I really should just use it whenever a fight appears to be happening. I think I have it in my mind that, it's an ultimate, it's a long cooldown. I should wait until the absolute perfect moment, but the absolute perfect moment is not coming. And, I gotta drill it in my head. It's, 40-second cooldown is not very much. And the Dark Lady is taunting people a little bit. Thanks for the free farm mid. And she now has a shrunken head. And what is this floating around her? Cursed shield? What is Cursed shield from? I do not know. What's it do? +9 armor. Is it from Shrunken Head? No. Huh, I don't know. So Shrunken Head gives you magical immunity for 10 seconds. Yeah, 10 seconds of magic immunity. Also dispels debuffs. So a very powerful item I see on carries all the time because you do not want to be locked down by CC. You want to, I'm trying not to read the trash talk here. You don't want to be locked down by CC. You want to be able to get off your full combo every time. And the Shrunken Head allows you to do that. Plus, it's got some pretty nice stats on it. +10 strength, +24 damage. I mean, not a tremendous amount of stats, but acceptable amount. So what do I have at this point? Power supply, neophyte book, ring of the teacher, an astrolabe, and a scarab. Right. So first of all, the neophyte book. I believe this was a component necessary for Nom's wisdom. I may be remembering it wrong, but I think that's what it was. And a lot of the guides I was seeing said, you know, get Nom's wisdom on the Demented Shaman. It's a good item. And I happened to take that the first time around. Wow, that looked like a portal key. Yeah, portal key on Miraculous as well, using it to initiate. Looks like Glacius is going to go down once more. Arachna's going to try to come in. She's definitely got a slow, or someone's got a slow on Miraculous, but they're not going to be able to follow that. Dark Lady does go invisible, so that saves her from Pebbles here. But yes, one of the items there was a little bit of discussion about was Nom's Wisdom. People saying it's not quite as good as it used to be. It's been nerfed. Don't get it. So I was like, okay, whatever. And they're like, get the Astrolabe. Okay, well, the Astrolabe was next on my list to get anyway, so I've picked that up as well. Nice item. Gives you a handful of stats all over: strength, agility, intelligence, and armor. And when you use it, it does an AoE heal for 250 damage and gives your allies bonus armor for a short amount of time. Actually, 25 seconds is a reasonable amount of time. So excellent item on a support hero. And then the next question is, what item do I get next? There's a bunch of back and forth, and I was like, screw you guys, I'm getting the Cyclone Wand, whatever it's called, because it seems useful. So that's what I get next, and you will see me put it into effect at some point before the end of the game, but I have not yet purchased it. So I'm talking about the future. Behemoth is going to try to get away here, but the Dark Lady activates her Shrunken Head, takes him out, no problem, and is going to try to engage. Oh, no, she actually goes around the Arachna. Instead goes for the Chipper, takes him out. There goes Arachna as well. Oh no, not the Chipper. Who else did she go? Missed that. Sorry, guys. But we do have a massacre going on here. We're going to take out this tower at the same time. The Dark Lady is extremely low. She gets taken out. Looks like a tower, actually. And oh, but she comes back to life. I think she had the symbol of life. Did she? I may have just missed the action completely, guys. Sorry about that. Oh, she's trying hard to kill Magnus. Oh, actually, is able to get out of there using her charging strike. Barely gets out with 40 hit points. So sick. The Plague Rider is buzzing around here, but he's quite low. He's only at a quarter health. He's got to be dangerous. He's got to be careful. But it looks like no one is going to try to come after him. Pebbles again, farming up some jungle here, getting some free money. So what's he got at this point? He's picked up some plate mail. That is his new item. What about on the other side? So we've got Magnus, who's actually doing quite well. Portal keys in just to kill some minions. Wow, lots of splash damage AoE. What are his abilities? So we get the Lava Surge. Alright, so it transports him to a location, deals damage along the way, and stuns them. His Steam Bath, which is a channeled self-AoE stealth. Volcanic Touch. So this is every time you hit, it applies Volcanic Touch to a target, and if that target dies, it explodes and does damage. Oh, very cool. And his ultimate is Volcanic Eruption, which is a channeled self-AoE. And after the channel time, deals 110 magic damage to targets in radius every 0.35 seconds for 3.5 seconds, and applies Eruption... Oh my god, too much text. Does a whole bunch of damage to people. And slows them. These abilities, so ridiculous. That's a lot of damage, though. If it's 110 damage every 0.35 seconds for 3.5 seconds, that's 1,100 damage. Wow. That's a lot of damage. I guess they need very high base numbers because they can't scale it up with AP. Get some more items. What did you pick up? So you got the rune that Savage Mace, very nice. Lots of extra attack damage, attack speed, and True Strike, which means you can't, no one can evade your attacks. Plus, on impact, 35% chance to deal 100 bonus damage and to stun them for 0.1 seconds. Well, that is very, very powerful. Those micro stuns really do a lot. It makes it a lot harder for people to run away from you. It interrupts channeled effects. Very, very potent. And otherwise, the items are the same. Lots of blinking down here. So many pings going off, but nothing happening. So Arachne, does she have a... yeah, she's got an Assassin's Shroud, which gives her damage, attack speed, and the ability to self-cloak. It's only 9 seconds long, but you can use it every 18 seconds, so that is considerable. Also, you get a bonus to movement speed during that time. Interesting. And bonus damage on your first attack. And she just walks into two of us here. Like, oh, okay, that's fine. So Miraxis and I start beating on her while Pebbles portal keys in. I don't think there was a lot of wisdom in her decision to venture out in that direction. Now, our middle tower here is actually taking a fair amount of damage, but we actually haven't lost a single tower yet. We're absolutely dominating this game, and I don't think it's going to last for much, much longer. There's actually a concession vote that goes on here, and we get some GG well played, and Magnus just says end it for us. So, everyone rushes in on this tower. Meanwhile, what is going to happen? Of course, they've all given up. They've given up hope. No, we get the behemoth that pulls his stun on us. Magnus comes into the middle, does insane amounts of AoE damage to absolutely everyone, blowing his ult, I believe, and killing two of us right off the bat, forcing everything back. We're quite low health. Pebbles is trying to do his best to escape. Meanwhile, Miraxis comes in, does some damage to Behemoth, but there are three of them here, so he's still being chased back. We actually get another death. Looks like they take out the Dark Lady, and I believe Miraxis is going to go down as well. And if Pebbles is not careful, he is also going to die. There's Miraxis is definitely going to go down. Meanwhile, Magnus chases Pebbles away. Pebbles survives, but he is the only one. So that was GG, well played. Just end it for us after this concession vote. Yeah, very, very slick. Very, very funny. I mean, I don't know if they planned that intentionally. I don't know if we actually overextended as a result of that, but it certainly came out very nice for the Legion team in that they could almost genocide us, and they're going to push 1 and 2 towers for sure. I don't think there's any save in the second one. Pebbles is nearby, but no, there's nothing he can do alone. Now, a few of us have rezzed up at this point. There we go, second tower goes down. But I don't think they're going to be able to push in any further without another big team fight. At this point, I have even toggled my my Ring of the Teacher here to give the buff back to our creeps because I want them to be able to push us. And then Magnus says again, yeah, anyway, end it for us. I mean, I think it certainly looks like things are bad for them, but clearly that fight just showed that it's definitely not over. And they have some very powerful ultimates on their side that can do considerable AoE damage. So Magnus is still ripping things apart very quickly. Now there are 4 of them up top. We are trying to position near them. We've got Pebbles getting near them with a little puppy dog nearby. Oh, that's Demented Shaman. That's what that is. He portal keys in against all of them. Stalagmites out, just obliterates Arachna without even a second thought. Just like kills him and gets out of there. Sure, 4v1, no problem. I'm just going to portal key in. I can take him. We got Superman! Super Pebbles! Love that cape effect. So, everyone's on the run. We are going to push top here. They don't have a tower up anymore. They actually still have a bottom tower. Maybe we should have gone for that. So tons of arguments going on in all chat about which team has the most overpowered stuff right now. This tower is definitely vulnerable, but they're in a good shape to defend it. We've backed up into the jungle. What do we got going on here? Pebbles doing some more jungling. Plague Rider back in the shop buying items. He's currently packing a Talisman of the Exile, Plated Greaves, Mighty Blade, Neophyte Book, some Ruins of Blight, and a Fortified Bracelet still. Meanwhile, what have I purchased? Nothing! Nothing very exciting. How much money do I got? Oh, almost 1,000 gold kicking around, so I will want to make a purchase soon, I believe. So much damage. And, oh, she's got some new items. A Warp Cleft. Oh! Magnus comes in, initiates on here, trying to take out the Dark Lady, I believe, but she gets stunned in return, or Magnus gets stunned in return, doing a lot of damage to Magnus, but she takes some hits from the Chipper. Magnus definitely goes down, though. 3-on-1 was not going to be any fair, even with some long-range artillery support coming this way. And I don't think that Glacius even engaged. Not much for him to do. He's too squishy. It's too hard for him to engage. Magnus is doing his best, but I think this game is probably over. Oh, he says he didn't expect you guys. He wasn't trying to engage on the group. He was trying to engage on the creeps and just get a little bit of jungle time. Oh, that's unfortunate. Bad timing for him. He got the tower push forward. Dark Lady rushes in with her charge. And Arachna is going to be able to back out of there, despite being focused. In fact, the Dark Lady is taking a whole lot of damage. She may go down here. Pebbles is doing his best to interrupt, but he gets quite low. I take the tower for a little while, take some damage, throwing out my heals as much as possible. Oh! And we've actually got the Storm Shield bonus, so I actually remembered to use my ultimate that time. Look at Chipper just firing missiles blindly. That was quite long range, very creepy. But the encounter did come out for good for us. We haven't lost anyone. We're able to do a lot of pressure here. We do have the Behemoth initiating with his Fissure, but it doesn't look like he's going to get anything out of that. Meanwhile, we're flanking from both sides. I think we're going to go straight for the heart here. Oh, Chipper does get down, taken out by the Dark Lady. And we are just peeling them apart piece by piece. Now the hut goes down. Magnus tried to pull a move on Meraxes just to, I think, mostly to harass more than anything else. Did not commit to that encounter. Just did some damage and ran out way before his stun wore off. Behemoth using his line ability to try to push back this minion wave as effectively as possible. And we are just going to pull back. Damage done. Wait for some stronger minions to walk in. And a little ping over here. What do we got? Tablets of Illusion. And it looks like we're going to go for Kongor. Indeed we are. The Dark Lady tanking him and doing an incredible amount of damage. Look at this. I mean, everyone's doing damage, but I'm sure it's mostly her. Just tearing her apart, and she would be the most logical choice for the symbol, but she doesn't have enough room in her inventory, and no one has picked up the Token of Life. No one. Come on, someone. Oh my god. I think someone's gonna get sent that way, but I don't know who. Did we really? There we go. There was just confusion. Everyone assumed the Dark Lady was going to take it, and then she just said, I have no inventory room. So, Pebbles, port keys in, and picks it up. Ring of Sorcery, Portal Key, Ghost Marchers, the Blood Chalice still, a Demonic Breastplate, and the Token of Life. So the Demonic Breastplate gives you 40 attack speed. That's a lot of attack speed. 10 armor. Applies enemy aura to visible enemies, units, and objects in 900 radius around itself. Ah, it's an aura that gives -5 armor. Very, very potent. And a friendly aura that gives +15 attack speed and +5 armor. Excellent ability. Excellent aura abilities. Really like that item considerably. And, wow! One charging strike takes out an entire creep wave there. So she just has infinite farm going on now. Question going on in the chat. What is Brown doing? I was quite surprised. In League of Legends, individual players don't have colors, so you don't refer to them by their color. You refer to them by what character they're playing, or by their champion name. Either by their champion name or their summoner name, their account name. And so referring to people by color is quite odd, because I'm not used to noting my own color either. So I'm always having to check, well, what color am I? What are they talking about? And I remember there was one game where they kept saying, DG do this, DG do that, DG do this. I'm like, who are they talking about? And then I finally realized that they're saying dark green, or someone pointed out to me they're saying dark green, and I was dark green. They were trying to talk to me. So there is something to keep in mind. If you're playing with noobs, they have no idea what you're talking about when you're referring to people by colors, especially if you're just using initials. Behemoth does go down to Pebbles there. Take out that tower. I'm a little bit low on health. We're going to push forward just fine here. Looks like we got some Astrolabe healing going on. Yes, no, maybe not. I've got the Storm Spirit now. In fact, I think I've actually used it at this point to save myself. In fact, I think that's why it was low. I think someone initiated on me, and then I used the Storm Spirit defensively to protect myself while the rest of my team got in position to take him out. I'm sorry I missed that. It was such a cool move. We've got Pebbles who portal keys into their fountain to throw someone out, and that part of the plan did work, but unfortunately, he died doing it, but he did have the Token of Life, so I guess that worked out okay. Maybe not the best use of the Token of Life, but I think at this point, mostly just doing it for the lulz. Magnus initiating in here, getting a lot of stun, a lot of AoE going off. He gets knocked up in the air, though, and just torn to pieces. Oh, I'm so low. Look at this. 100 hit points.
Savage sick double tap.
Savage sick double tap. Oh, those are some massacre. Yeah, this is pretty much the end of it, guys. Anyway, I am loving the Demented Shaman still. I know I'm still not playing him like a pro, but what a great little character. And really, when you're playing with some incredibly strong carries that have just been fed so much, how much farm does she have right now? 381 creep kills, 600 gold per minute. The Dark Lady. I mean, I could have stayed in my fountain the whole game. We still would have won. So sick. And of course, Pebbles is clearly inflicting tons of pain on the enemy team. Even here, we've got more deaths going on there as the Behemoth tried to initiate. And we're going to finish this off. So great team, and thanks to my teammates for giving me a lot of really good advice as we played, and really, yeah, making the game experience a little bit better, and letting me walk away with a lot of new knowledge. God, I love that demon when he pops out of the ground. How cool is that? I really wish I could zoom in on at this point, but my mouse is completely locked and there's nothing I can do. Anyway, that's it. Hope you enjoyed the replay, and I will see you folks next time.